Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boscheman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the numerology and the energy for this upcoming full moon that's occurring on June 14th, 2022. And so what I want to do, I'm going to do things a little bit differently for these moon readings ongoing. I'm going to take a look at the numerology and the energy forecast for the collective, which I highly recommend you listen to because it does, we're all a part of the collective. So we are privy to these energies, right? We may feel them. Have a listen to that. And then I'm going to break the energies down into each life path forecast so that you can kind of see based on your life path number, how this illumination may affect you, how you may feel the energies, that sort of thing. Okay, so this, of course, is a general reading. If you would like to take a look at your own personal energies and numerology, please book some time with me. The link for it to be able to do that is in the description box below. Okay, so before I get into the numerology, I went ahead and pulled an animal spirit card for this illumination. And very much aligned with the numerology, we received chameleon spirit. And so chameleon spirit's message is all about adaptation, camouflage. When you think about the chameleon, it moves sort of slowly, and its little eyes are kind of moving all around, just taking everything in, seeing what's going on around it so that it knows how to adapt, so that it knows how it needs to integrate into the situation, how it's meant to experience its environment. And so I think it's really important to mention that we do have a lot of 5 energy coming through in this at this full moon. And so change, adaptation, transformation, all of that is going to be very potent. And so I think that as we move through this illumination, through this energy, which can be at about the span of a couple of weeks, this isn't an eclipse energy, so probably a couple of weeks we'll feel it. Just try to embody chameleon energy, right? Especially if it's a change or a transformation that feels uncomfortable or that is unexpected. Just play like chameleon, take everything in, look around, and then adapt as needed, right? There's going to be probably a lot of need for surrender, a lot of need to go with the flow, that sort of thing. A lot of things that we need to release control over with this illumination. And so instead of fighting that, I don't know, anytime I've ever seen a chameleon, they just seem so relaxed and chill. Like they're just taking it all in, going with the flow, doing their thing and adapting, right? And doing what they need to do. Okay, so looking at the numerology for the collective. So this full moon illumination emphasizes the vibrations of the 5 and the 8. So it's very possible that collectively we could see major shifts or transformations when it comes to power and the balancing of power, shifts in resources and global financial infrastructures. So we may be asked now to be much more adaptable in how we spend money, how we make money, and where we place value when it comes to our purchasing power. So again, the 5 is all about change, freedom, freedom of expression. This is a big, fast-moving energy. So it doesn't want to be tied down. It doesn't want to be restricted. It's go big or go home kind of energy. And that coupled with the 8, which is a very material plane energy. It's very tangible. It's very about, again, power, money, business, resources, power dynamics, philanthropy, all these things, as well as intuition and a spiritual connection as well. But really, I think this illumination is really going to bring into the forefront a lot around change, adaptability when it comes to finances, resources, especially on a global stage. So you may see, again, power play, right? Things going back and forth around power and redistribution of power, where there's injustices, bringing justice to that situation. Could see that all kind of be playing out now. Supply and demand is a real force. And when we buy something, needed or not needed, we're saying we want more of this, whatever it is. So we may need to get creative when it comes to finances and our purchasing power to perhaps send a different message if we want to see some sort of a shift, right? So it doesn't make sense to get angry or frustrated at large corporations if we are constantly showing consistent support for them and how they conduct business, right? So by purchasing their products, we're saying we like what you're doing and we want more of this. So we always have a choice, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be an easy choice, but we always have a choice. And many times there are smaller businesses who offer similar products and whose values may be in greater alignment with our own. And so it may be a little bit more pricey. It might take a little bit longer to receive. It might not have that instant gratification. But there are options out there, right? And so we just need to take that power back and decide how we want to use that voice, right? Like how we want to use our buying power, and think about the message that we're sending when we make that purchase. A lot could come up now around, again, power struggles, reclaiming power, and not sinking into sort of victimization, meekness, or submissiveness out of fear. 8 and 5 energy together ignite the desire for expansiveness and sort of ultimate freedom. So anything that's trying to impose overly rigid or oppressive restrictions now will likely be faced with some level of revolt, pushback, uproar, that sort of thing. Personally, you may find at this time that certain routines or mundane ways of doing things begin to feel really sort of claustrophobic. So it would be very easy under this energy to sort of make big sweeping changes within your life. And I would say just, try to keep your head about you as you move through this energy, because when it calms down and you're only left, you're kind of left with nothing familiar at that point because you made these big sweeping changes, you may be wishing that you would have left something standing, right? So again, chameleon spirit can come in at this time and just kind of, again, just take a look around, slow your roll a little bit, and make sure that the things that you are releasing or getting rid of or breaking free from are things that are ready to be released and broken free from, right? Like, you don't just wake up one day and be like, I'm going to quit my job and because I hate it here. And so you just quit your job and you've got nowhere else to go and not the best financial decision or whatever the case may be, right? So it's very easy under this 5 energy to really get swept up in it and just make very impulsive decisions that when the energy sort of fades in a couple of weeks, you may be thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that, right? I mean, the good news is that it's probably only going to be pretty potent for a week to 2 weeks. So any big major changes that you make are probably going to be things that you can kind of backtrack on if you feel you need to. But I would say just really take everything, just do an overview, make sure that what you're diving into or making changes for is what you want to be doing, right? And what feels right for you for a long-term potential commitment. So it could also be very easy to overspend in this period or overindulge. So allow your senses to be delighted without being gorged. And so trust me, you'll thank me later. You can absolutely 100% have your cake and eat it too. Just do so in moderation and you'll avoid getting a tummy ache. See what I'm saying? So be as flexible and adaptable as possible during this period. With 5 energy, change can be around every corner, and it may look different than what you had anticipated, especially when it comes to this 8 energy of business, wealth, resources, and power. So go with the flow while also paying attention to what the situation is trying to highlight for you so that you can make any necessary changes or adjustments that feel good for you. With the coupling of the 5 and the 8 energy for this illumination, think change, transformation, expansion, or restrictions. Remember, you've got the higher and the lower octaves of these energies. Moderation, enjoyment. Don't be so restrictive that you don't allow yourself to enjoy this energy. 5 energy is a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun. It can be very social, very big and expansive and joyful. And so allow yourself the enjoyment, right? We don't always have to be so serious and sacred about things, right? So overindulgence, impulsivity are also possible. So again, moderation, moderation, moderation. Freedom could come into the forefront when it comes to money, power, resources, business, equity, the more tangible things in the physical plane. So you can make this energy work for you. It's all about perspective and driving your actions in the direction that you want to take them, right? Working with the energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the individual life path numbers. Life path number 6. So this is such fun energy coming in for you all 6s. This can be interesting for 6s because a lot of times 6s have they sort of feel like they have a lot of obligation, a lot of sort of burdens to carry, and so it can kind of feel like, more perfectionist sort of energy where they're trying to do something for everybody type thing, and so it can just feel a little bit like you're always sort of on and having to be very like sort of the adult in the room, right? Well, this energy for you all is just incredibly liberating. It's such beautiful, expansive energy. So I love to see this coming in for 6s. So for you all, there can be at this time just this like unbridled desire for freedom. So you might feel called to just impulsively book a travel excursion and, expand your mind and go travel to a foreign location or go someplace you've always wanted to go but haven't gone before because of, your responsibilities or whatever the case may be. This energy for you all is giving you permission to splurge, to let your hair down, to dream big and take big action. So break free from old patterns or old power struggles at this time and take some risks. This is that kind of energy where it's like, yeah, you may spend X amount on something you've always wanted and maybe you won't get anything in return for it except for just the experience. But you know what? That's okay. Or maybe you'll invest in something just on a whim and maybe it won't go the way that you expected, but at least you took the risk. At least you put yourself out there and tried something new. And so this energy is just really asking you to dance outside of your comfort zone and to not, place unnecessary restrictions on yourself, especially at this time. Loosen your grip up a bit and play. Experience life beyond your responsibilities at this time. Now, that's not to say, you completely, disregard your responsibilities or whatever, but I'm not worried about 6s doing that. But this is definitely an energy to allow yourself to play, allow the inner child to come out and be spoiled, right? Like this is going to be one of those times where you may just see the money show up so that you can go play and have fun. If there's a trip that you've wanted to take, this is the time to do it. I think that even if it's only for a weekend or something like that, I think you'll get so much pleasure out of it. And this is a beautiful time for like romance and dating or whatever, right? Like this is a beautifully romantic energy for 6s. So definitely take advantage of it. Play in this energy. Again, let your hair down, release some of those burdens and responsibilities. They'll be there when you come back. But just allow yourself, don't shame yourself or beat yourself up for taking me time or taking time with your partner and just going and, again, splurging and just enjoying yourself. That is really the mantra, I think, for 6s during this illumination is enjoyment. Like allow yourself to play and enjoy this energy and work with it and allow it to work for you, right? Like I said, the responsibilities will be there when you come back. So let yourself play. Beautiful, beautiful energies for sixes. And I love to see when this kind of energy comes in for you all. But remember, you have to give yourself permission to take the energy up on its offer, right? So it can be there, but if you're not doing anything with it, then you're not going to experience it to the fullest. So beautiful energies for you all. I hope it's a beautiful illumination. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.